Good morning. Hello. Right. How's everybody doing? Who've we got on? Hi, Stelly. I fixed it, I think. I think it's fixed. Chili helped me, but I think it's fixed. So I'm quite happy about that. I just deleted all of my preferences. Funnily, I haven't like deleted my preferences or done anything with them since something like Ableton 9. So I had literally pages and pages of all these preferences. So I just grabbed a lot, deleted it, opened up Ableton, which I didn't recognise anymore. It was in the really light colour. And then I had to just reset everything. And it looks like it's working. But Chili, who comes on the stream now and then, he was at hand helping, which was good. So I think it seemed to work, but I haven't tried it with the pressure of the live stream. So that's the first update. Second update, the green wall is on order. So I'm expecting that Thursday. So I'm going to have a lovely foliage over there, and then getting a second camera. So instead of just having sort of this angle, we'll have this angle, but we'll have an angle where I'm front on, and behind me will be this lovely leafy green foliage. At least I hope it will be. So you won't see the brick wall, but you'll see. So I'm pleased with that. Yeah, I'm streaming from the same machine. Steady, I know. It's the same machine. I can't be bothered with like multiple machines to stream on and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm not really sure how I would work it either, any other way, to be fair. Although, like, yeah, I mean, having another thing that it's just easier because, like, I like to be completely self-contained all the time, and two seconds. I like to be completely in the box, self-contained as much as I can in case I need to pick everything up. And it's just force of habit because I did so much stuff where I was writing, finishing music, releasing music, and I was never in a studio. I was out and about. So I've just got into the habit of having absolutely everything I need in one space. I mean, that's changed since playing guitar because I can't cart my guitars about all the time. And an audio interface, it just gets ridiculous. So I'm in the house for the majority. The other thing is it's just handy to have everything in the one place because when I'm making YouTube content, what I do is I actually use Ecamm to do all my videoing. In fact, one of the really handy things that I've got now is on Ecamm I've actually got, because I have over the camera, I have a prompter. So I have got now, if I point at it, I should be pointing directly at you guys now. I have, when I switch it on, a little crosshair, so when I'm looking into it, I'm directly looking at everybody. But it's really good because I can see the exact shot that I'm getting. I remember early on, Thomas was doing two. Like I think he had two computers to stream with when he was at first sort of just kind of getting his head right really early on. Just get this. I had to stream two machines, but that would be my. Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right, Stelly, in your thinking. And back in the day, late 90s and 2000s, I used to have multiple computers doing multiple things, to be fair. I had one with all the graphic design, all that kind of stuff, and then I just had one purely for music. So yeah, the green wall is on its way. I don't know if I've got. You might just be able to see it on my phone there. You see that? That's like a metre square foliage. So I've got to get, how many panels did I get? 4. And then I've got to get somebody to come and fit them. So I'm looking forward. I'm really excited about the green wall. It wouldn't add. Alright, might add late. Probably wouldn't add latency, but the audio would be the same because I use 2 audio interfaces. Oh, you have an REM Fireface. Very nice. Very good audio interface. I've got PreSonus. I've got a Quantum 2 and like the USB one, which is really good. And that the USB one is the one that the broadcast on, which has more latency, and then the Quantum is my main studio one that I monitor off. 30 ins and 30 outs. Yeah, that's more like it. Very good. So, what I thought I'd do is, because I was thinking about so Thursday, for the live on Thursday, because I'm coaching tomorrow, so I've got to remind myself, it's no live. But Thursday's live. I'm gonna make my guitar content live. I think that might be good. Just like a quick video, really, maybe 1 or 2 of them. So I'll be doing that on Thursday, and it's this picking exercise saved my life. So that'll be one, but I'm sure it'll get lots of views. And I'm just going to do something that's so quick and to the point, right? There is no hanging about. You literally is like as soon as I open my mouth, right, you know what you're getting. All right, it's going to be straight into it. So there'll be no messing about. People are just going to watch, and the thumbnail. Well, I don't know how I'm going to do the thumbnail, but will be exactly that. Me having my life saved by a picking exercise. So I'm gonna give that a go. So there was that, and then I've got a series of desert island licks as well. I think that's going to be popular. So I'm just going to go through all of the licks that basically I regurgitate when I'm soloing. So yeah, I mean, thing is with audio interfaces, you can have them for years and years, can't you? I mean, I had a Moto 828, and it just like I had it forever. It just kept going. You just stick them in the corner and they work, don't they? There's like no need to change them, isn't there? But the Moto, I love the Moto, very good. So yeah, that was a great interface. And then the other thing I thought I'd experiment with today is I like the idea of. Have you ever seen the Beat the Clock? So Beat the Clock videos. I used to watch them all the time on telecommunications or whatever it is, that YouTube channel. And they'd have like a cool producer. Usually they have really cool producers on that you don't really like hear much of, like dance DJ type producers, and they make a beat in 10 minutes. They also do a really good series on DJs playing their favorite B-sides, which I thought was brilliant. Because I found loads of when I was getting really bored of house music, I found loads of stuff that was sort of like helping me limp along whilst I was finishing off projects and doing starting McLaughlin and Hutch. So I found that was quite a bit of, you know, was it brutal Italia Brutal or something like that? That was one of them. What's the other track I like? Plastic Sleeves. Yeah, there's some just really weird, odd electronic stuff which I really liked. So it'll be interesting to see how the computer fares up today. And I have got like one thing that I need to add to it. So I'll tell you what, we'll casually move over to the office. Here we are. Right. Alright, and I'll move my video thing there. Ugh. I've got to find my Max for Live stuff as well. Right, here it is. So, what I've got is all right. So I've got a little. I don't know what you think about this, but I've got like a little timer. I thought this was quite quirky. So, Pomodoro timer settings. We can set it to 10 minutes. But really, it's meant to be 25 minute intervals, isn't it? And then you have a 5 minute break. And then we can have that floating up there. Is that coming across? It's small, isn't it? But can you see the timer up there? So also got this one here. You're not gonna see that one really. Yeah, so Stelly, the Quantum 2, because me and Thomas like swapped over our interfaces because he needed more inputs, but like unfortunately the Quantum 2 that I've got here, they discontinued that, but are still building drivers for it. So I mean that's a good thing, isn't it? All right, you can see the chat, right? So I just thought it'd be a nice quirky thing to have the Pomodoro timer. It's probably going to crash my whole system though. You know, I just fix it and then I'm starting to like mess about with it. Oh, yeah. I need to put it somewhere out of the way though. That's probably maybe over there. It's a good place. Alrighty. Well, I think I've got my drums ready. I think we're about there. I will start in a minute. Alright, get my mic up a little bit. Alright, who else have we got here this morning? Oh, it just looks like you and Graham. Right. So, the other thing is, as well, the everything now is, you'd be relieved to know, that we're back to SSL. Yeah, ask me a question. Are you treating each lane in EXO like EQ comp on each channel? Yes, I am. So the way it works is, I should have that folded really. So we have like a drum group, and that is everything. At least it should be everything. Will be everything. Oh, come on, how do I... Right. All of that should go in there. Like that. Sorry, last minute organisation here. Right, I'm not going to worry about it. Right, okay, so I'll just yeah, Stelly. So I'll take you through what I'm doing. So basically, what I have is I have a drum group, okay, and that's got all of EXO sitting in it. I have a MIDI channel, all right, and this is where the kit sits. So on here I've got EXO, and I've got EXO actually sitting inside a rack, as you can see, and then I'm controlling from this rack a couple of parameters. So if you look at this kick, right, basically on the kick, I can basically change the envelope, the decay. And then I've got pitch as well. So pitch and decay I can control from the rack. Then all of this is like multiple outs. So I have a mixer, okay? I have a mixer group. So normally I can just shut it and it's set, and there's a reasonable mix of drums. And then if I want to go in on detail, I can open it up. But really, just to get rid of the cognitive load, I can just shut it like so, okay? Just open and close it, which is brilliant. Then what actually happens is we've got each, basically it mirrors EXO here. So each one of these outputs has a corresponding channel to the output. So kick 1, kick 2, which actually usually is always a hi-hat, snare, clap. We've got closed, open hi-hat, flex 1 and flex 2. And then on each one of these, this is the channel strip. So the kick, I do have like an EQ, which I don't need. I'll take that off. So on the kick, basically I've got it's mono, or it's always mono on that channel. I've got the SSL 4KE, which you know and love very well. And then I've got that macroed, so I've got just my high pass and low pass filters, but the normal way that you'd have them. So when you're doing the bass, it's on the left hand side, and then right hand side's the low pass filter. Then we've got the volume, so I can just do the gain stage in there and then, so I don't need to like open this for the high pass, low passing and the gain stage. And so if I'm peaking a bit, I'll just take it down there. And then I always have on every channel, even though I don't use it, a high pass and a low pass filter, but that's for like the effect sort of thing. And then I've got a volume here, and that's just for like fading in and fading out sounds, and that's always the same on every channel. Kick 2, because I use hi-hats on it. Like if I'm doing like 16th hi-hat patterns, oh look, there's a new one. If I'm doing 16th hi-hat patterns, I've got kickstart 2, just doing a nice, because it's simple. It's got sidechain curves on it. You can mix, add in how much of the sidechain you want. So it's nice just to add groove to hi-hats in a really super quick way. So that's just sort of set up on a thing. And then everything else is like just, the snare has bass XXL on it. So rather than like layering, if I want a bit of oomph, that's dialed in, ready to go. And then everything else is just the same. So it's always the snares that like need the special treatment when I'm using electronic stuff like synthwave. I just feel like they just lack the low end, and I don't want to. When I'm writing, I can't be bothered to like layer stuff, and there's only so much EQ I can crank onto the thing before it just starts sounding crap. So I've ended up doing that. And then I've got ride. I've got my usual shimmer, crash, interest, loops, and then we're just going through the usual things. We've got bass, which is the Tal one that I really like. We've got I've decided to go back to using this for when I'm doing synthwave. Sounds pretty good. ARP. I have this thing set up where I'm using shaper box, which does give you a little bit of latency. Not much though. And what I've got is I've got like this little thing where it'll do some panning, automated panning. But I can have like a Hass effect as well, so it goes wide and moves, and seems to work really, really, really well. So that's one of the special moves. Lead, pitch drift, give me that lo-fi thing going there. OTT, just giving it a bit of a squeeze. And then we've got chords again, we've got pitch drift on there. I'm going to switch it off for now. Leave it. And then Cthulhu. So if I want to write more complicated chord progressions, Cthulhu's great for like just doing one finger shit. That's really good. And then I've got Serum. Right, so I'll use Serum. The reason Serum's in there is I just wanted a synth that's between the virtual analog and FM, but that would be interesting for me to use. Whereas I just struggle. I got all of the sounds in Serum, they're quite modern and they're quite you can get in the ballpark of the genre, which is good. It's instant. Whereas I could go down the route of putting the M1 in, but then I end up flicking through a lot of sounds that I hate to find some 80s kind of FM bell sound that I think sounds good. So just really for speed, I've got Serum in there, and the stuff's pretty good. Interest, I've got GateLab free plugin, and that's on Arcade. Actually, I don't know why that's I need that off Arcade. And that's really it. Vocal stabs, vocals, texture, everything else has the same sort of thing. I think on textures, what I want to do here is I've got something I need to add in. When I'm using textures, I like to high pass and low pass them to the extreme. So I do have, I don't know if you've seen this, there's the Max for Live Essentials, not the official Essentials, but this is another Essentials. So I was getting into a few Max for Live plugins, which I think are pretty good. And if you go to Max for Live Curated, the guy who runs that site has kind of tested them all. So these are the really, really good ones. So we've got that filter in there. And then I think what I need to do is I just need to change this about. So I've got EXO racked. EXO. And then we can have all the drums in a rack. And then this is drums. I think I'm doing the right thing. Right, and then I've got my drums there, and then there's a couple of things that I need to put on here. I need one of them on. Go for that. Right. We're looking good. The other thing I have, right, that's interesting is anything in my template I'm not using, I have a channel at the top here, a group, where I can just, all the stuff I'm not using, I can just throw up to the top here, and just get rid of them, basically, and hide them and switch them off. And then if I want to get them out, I can. So it just reduces the cognitive load on what I'm seeing on the screen. But that is basically, that's the whole template, really. There are some like effects down here, some of which I kind of use, but those are the sort of go-tos at the time. So just basically a room reverb for the drums, 80s hall, all Valhalla for the shimmer, Valhalla for the like long spacey delay, and quarter note delays are like everything's Valhalla. The interesting thing now is the last sort of mixes I've been doing, like the backing tracks you're hearing that I'm knocking out, they're just and the track I did with Sharon, all of that stuff was just there's like basically no reverb on anything. So I've stopped putting reverb on things for the sake of it. I mean, I was doing quite a bit of that, just like put reverb on something and then because you think it's giving it space, but actually I think I like a much more drier, brutal sound these days. So I've been through that it seems to be a phase. I've been through that before. All right, so that is absolutely everything. I've kind of set myself up now for doing this 10-minute thing. I think we'll give it a go. I'm just going to nip back to this. Right, we're good. I guess plugins are different according to music genre one is making. That's very interesting because the plugins I've actually chosen, I mean, it's not obviously it's electronic music that I'm doing, but I think like with synthwave, there's or any sort of music that you're doing, there's genres within genres. So the reason I've come to the choice of what I'm doing, why I'm using things, is to have the maximum amount of flexibility, but the with the ease of use. So that's really so if you think about it, like EXO, right? The reason I use that is because I've got access to all of this in one page, right? And I can just, select none and select one thing, one library, okay? And then I can go kicks, right? So that makes it a lot easier. But what that does is it means I've now got a drum instrument that's incredibly wide in terms of what it can cover, but gives me the flexibility of accessing all of this stuff in a very, very short space of time. So that's why I use that, you know. Um, it functions like any other drum machine, but then you've got ergonomically, it's very, very easy and it's very, very flexible in the way that you can integrate it into your DAW. And then, I use, I've literally got every synth, right? But yet I'm on kind of the TAL stuff simply because it's sliders and it's simple to use. I, I don't hear many people using SH101s. I think it's a bit of a love and hate relationship people have with them. Some people can get a sound out of it that they're happy with, some people aren't. But I suppose, like, if you go down the line of simple sounds, complicated processing, you can get to where you want with anything. Yeah. So, that's the baseline. But once I stick something like RC on it, or and a bit of drive, it sounds great. So I go in and out of kind of developing various plugin chains for it that I'll use. I mean, at the minute I'm kind of just using something to layer with it. So that's the way it goes with that. It's like the Juno. I've always liked the Juno. So why not just use it for the lead sounds? Always kind of scrap about looking for the same lead sound. I've got the Juno one. It's there. I can modify it, and when you see me using them, one of the little rules that I have is that I don't really start looking. I don't start looking for presets. I have Hutch everything, and that's telling me that basically you're going to use this as an instrument, not like some kind of like sound bank where you're going to flick through like tons and tons of presets. Oh, more about effects and instruments. Um, Apart from like sidechain plugins where you've got like a dance producer's like sidechain curve, I think like it's all fairly universal, isn't it? I mean, obviously there are plugin manufacturers that do market themselves towards a genre of music, like EDM. We've had Kashmir; he's making like plugins, and that's all very much aimed towards the EDM lot, who will probably obsessively measure everything they do. So you've got like things with like you've got like plugins with beat synced pre delays, and like they've got um uh sidechain ducking that you can like lock to a musical value and all this kind of measury kind of sort of stuff. You've got things like Nexus, which just deliver you whatever the sound is of the day. They've got sound packs if you want to do. I remember the Electro House one, and it was the sound of Electro House. Sounded like plastic to me, but um, lots of people used it, and it was an instant way to. I mean, it's not my thing. It's an instant way to use something like that and then conform to your genre, which is not something I really want to do. MFM2 and color copy a lot. That sounds good. Who is that? Arturia. I think you might have mentioned that before. Right, I'll just save my template because I've tweaked it. Oh, Huey makes some. Yeah, I mean they make great stuff, don't they, Huey? Um, Alright, so I just want to see what sounds I've got loaded here. Um, let's have a look for different. What's this one? Sounds quite good. First, second one. Right, what other ones have I got here? What's this one? That's a bit weird. Right, that sounds reasonable. And then we've got basic 2. Oh, that's like that. Okay, we'll go with that for now. Alright, so, Huey, also DS. Right, well, I think we're going to start making music. So, I'm going to hit the Pomodoro thing, and then that's going to time 10 minutes. We'll see how much damage I can do in 10 minutes. I'm a bit out of practice. I haven't actually timed myself splurging for ages. So I'm a bit out of practice, so go easy. We'll pick a key. I'll just go for E minor, because that's what I always work in. And here we go. Pomodoro timer. Just put this one on as well. And we're working. Okay, here we go. You can do it. I hope so. Look at that. There we go. Sound effects. That's like the sound I'm making. Too fast. Too fast. I'm probably going to hate that. Yeah, I'm in a breakbeaty mood. Okay, we need a bit of interest. I mean, the great thing about working under this kind of pressure is you just don't give an F, do you? You just whatever. Whatever. I'll do whatever. Whenever. There's no thinky about it. I can't think about anything. Apart from getting these hi-hats. Right, and then just completely, because, like, what we've got to remember is guessing's good, right? Guessing's good. Yeah. And, Oh, see, that's pretty good. Gives me a little bit of a tune. I don't like the reverb on it though. Detail. Right, so don't have any ideas whatsoever. So what I'll do in this situation, we'll go to Packs, we'll go to my usual thing that I do, chill wave 3, and then hope for the best, and we're gonna get something out. So on texture, I hope this is an E minor. So this is like the plugin, right? The Max MSP filter, which I've got on here. So it's really smooth. Whew, at least I get a bit of background. I think we're going to go for our standard synthwave bass here. Maybe like let's try going for, if we're thinking about modes, let's try G major. So I don't really have time to think about anything. And what we're going to have to do is, the other thing I've done, which I should have done, is I need to be over into this window. So let's do that now. Right. So I think at the end of the day, you know, for us to splurge, we should splurge with maybe there's a purpose in mind here. Need to get rid of my return channels. Okay. So we can. Right, okay. Cool. Right, we need to get on to building this chorus, so that can be a verse, and then this is our chorus here, and we're going to think of a see, I shouldn't really be doing any of this. Loop that. Oh, I can't find where all my shit is here, right? Okay. Select all, legato. Got timing issues, right? Hi, Chili. That's the Pomodoro timer's gone, hasn't it? Alright, let's have a look at what I've got. At least the timer here hasn't gone off yet. Still got a minute. Right. And there we have a bit of something. There we go. So that's what I built in 10 minutes. Right, we're going to find out now. I'm just going to give this a quick arrangement. Bear with me. Oh god, right, what is this? So that would go there. But I wouldn't have it there. And then that would go here. I've got a breakdown. Take that off. So I'm almost like visually sort of arranging with so like this is another sort of quite good technique to do, is just to visually arrange things. And you're thinking about, what does your future self want to hear? So I definitely want to hear that there. Now, because I haven't got my markers in place, I'm a bit confused visually here. And a bit of a solo thing. Right. And obviously just like the usual stuff I can do, just to mark things out a bit. So I've got the everything channel, very handy. And I think we can take time there. Okay. Right. Just guessing here a second. Get this down to E minor. Right. That's it. Done. Alright, let's bounce this out and then we'll see where we're up to. So, in theory, to get the crash going, I want to save as beat the clock. I want to save this as a template as well because there's a few things I've done on it which I keep. Okay, so we'll we'll do we'll do the export, and then we'll see what happens. And then it's coffee break, innit? Right. Okay. The moment of truth has arrived. So technically, one of the crashes would be if I press save, everything will disappear and it'll delete the project. So far, so good. Right. So now, if I quit it, it'll quit, and then I'll tell you what, we'll go for a new live set. See what happens. Seems to be working though. I think it's fixed chili. That was a good noise. Right. Okay. So this is a fact. Let's get rid of all of that. All of that. So there's a couple of things I'm missing off this template. I've got to put my little markers in. So that's really important. So I just visually can't work out where I'm at when I'm lining things up. Actually, I've just realised like how important these are. I'm absolutely lost without putting these markers in. Right, so what we'll have to do is I have to very quickly do wins, problems, opportunities, which I'll do on my phone. Hold on. Wins, right, made something. Made something. No crashes. Problems. So started in session view. So this is the thing, because like for me to splurge, like that's like session view's like really good for like whacking loops together, right? But when it comes to actually making a track and doing other interesting things, it's a little bit limiting. I mean, I'll use this like when I know I'm going to be playing guitar along with something, I can easily like loop it. But in terms of like just splurging and being able to structure, then having something like this is a lot more convenient. So that was one of the like the problems, and then so no crashes in range. There were no markers, which we've got. For I did focus on editing MIDI parts. Probably too much. Options. So we kind of fixed two of them. So we've sorted the crashes out, sorted the arrange out. And I think the thing is like when you're splurging, it's so like tempting to like get in and start editing things. I think we've got to kind of trust our own, and it is difficult. We just have to trust our own instincts when it comes to mistakes. Then that, like, you know, what I say is, and it's perfectly true, and I'm better behaved with this when it's guitar, is I'm happy to leave a mistake go when I'm splurging, simply because it's a hidden intention, and I can actually with guitar trust myself that actually I'll know what that mistake was meant to be. You know, as long as we go back to the project, and then there's an investigation around. It sounds like the police, doesn't it? There's an investigation around what the hidden intention was with regards to the mistake. Then that's a really good thing. I think when we're getting into, like, you know, because I'm doing my MIDI thing now, it's just too easy to start getting into that editing and perfectionist mindset. not that we can have perfection. And I think because like I haven't done any sort of 10-minute tracks for like ages, I feel a bit out of practice. So I'm not casting the net wide enough. So in other words, I'm not like taking risks where as to do this, to really, because ideally when you're splurging, when I come back to my splurges, I know when I hear that back, right, that like I go, all right, yeah, it's just the usual thing. But actually, what I do want to hear is I don't want to hear me. I want to be surprised. That's what it is. I want when I write music, I want to have a surprise, and I mean part of that's like having the 3 day to a week break from your music. I mean not stopping producing, but not listening to something you've made for a week. Minimum is 3 days. So we can kind of move away from what we were feeling internally, because it's like how we feel internally. Um, it, you know, uh, is kind of the issue, isn't it? When we're focused on that, and then it allows us after 3 days a week, we're allowed to actually we can allow ourselves to listen to the music externally. That's what I'm trying to say. Hope that makes sense. There was something else I was going to say as well. Was to have my coffee and do my wins, problems, opportunities. Yeah, so I mean, I can highly recommend doing doing your wins, problems, and opportunities. Like, I mean, I can't stress it enough, like how important it is. Just find my chat here. Because I mean, like the good thing about the wins, problems, opportunities is it's a review on ourselves as well as the music. Really, it's a review on our performance, but it's not necessarily about the music. So it's very very handy for that. So what we need to do is we need to think of it as two different reviews. When I'm doing my wins, problems, and opportunities after a session, that is a review of my performance. Okay, so a lot of that's how I felt and all that kind of stuff. When we come to listening to our music and we start kind of do those direct listening games and then developing the music, then that is a review on the music, isn't it? So there are two different types of reviews. All right, does that make sense? Okay, so we've got our wins, problems, and opportunities. That's reviewing ourselves, our performance. And then when we listen back to our music, or if you're doing a guitar solo, that is a review of the music. And between those two things, right, if you did nothing else and you didn't run like a music machine, right, and you did just your wins, problems, and opportunities, and you recorded what you did, okay, and you came back to it, and you reviewed it, then you'd be winning, right? The progress that you would make would be exponential in every possible way if you can stick to it. Especially on guitar, because I mean, there's that thing, and we get locked into practicing stuff, and we're not really 100% sure of what the purpose of it is. Like when I'm when I'm practicing scales and things like that, I'm like a lot of the time I find it really difficult. I don't know if it's like the older you get, because I just think like hold on, what's this? What's this saying about me? What's this mode saying about me? And I'm all for like mobility around the fretboard, but I think at the end of the day, it's got to be linked to a way that we're expressing ourselves. I mean, at the minute, I'm really into the way I want to express myself is this sort of weird land of using. It's almost like from fusion. I'm using like a lot of like weird like pentatonic stuff where it's all there are fourth and fifth jumps, or if I'm adding like notes from another scale as like a major like I'll use a major 7 interval. I'm using that the 6 to be melodic, and these are all things, these are all particular sounds that like I've hooked my ear on that like I want to include. Nowadays I prefer to practice for practical use. Oh right, now that sounds good, Chili. Now can you expand on that? Because I think there's a good discussion here. So like, what is practical use? Because it sounds like there's a separation, like there's this kind of utility practice, and then there's like something where we're doing expressively. And I think what I'm saying is, should we not be thinking about the two things in one go? Like, I'm sure we've all seen me. You've seen the zones of experience, right? And what zones of experience? What? My headphones. Right. Because like we're talking about guitars now, I think right. I just want to have a look at something. Um. Oh god, like that's the thing. So I've got a prompter, and this is like super white. It's like bleaching me out, isn't it? Um. Let's go up here. Sorry, Chili. I'm getting my diagram out. All right. So. As learning scales positions versus you're actually choosing which notes and where to fit into songs and licks. How to transition from X to Y. Right, okay. So, yeah, so this is what I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong or anything like that, okay? But so that's kind of like my default thinking. But what I tend to do now is I kind of bench test everything that I do. Um, for example, if I'm practicing a scale, instead of using a metronome now, I'll actually use any old cheesy like backing track, and I'll play the scale. Even if I'm just going up and down it, I'll play a scale and try and like fit in with the backing track. It's massively helped my timing. And then the other thing I'll do is I'll play the scale for a bit, and then I'll start doing very little, tiny little improvisations with it, because all the time I'm thinking about the connection with the world. So, and this brings me back to this whole when we look at like the zones of experience here, which is adapted from Robert Dilt's Neurological Levels. Okay. And then what we have is, if you come to the top here, meaning, connection, what am I doing this for, and purpose. I think that's the bit I struggle with, is like when I'm playing scales, there's a point where I think, what am I doing this for? When I use a backing track as a metronome, it kind of helps me remind me I'm doing this because of X, and it helps with the motivation. It's really hard to stay motivated just playing exercises and things like that when there isn't a goal. I find that I need to have the goal there. Maybe we'll have to go for the bleached out, ghosted version of me. This is the problem with the prompters, because this should be. I wonder if I can. Oh, I can't do it in a dark background. So yeah, you get that ghosting effect. So I'm always reminding myself, because like the worst case scenario, what I don't want to happen, and this happens often, is to end up down here where capabilities are. How do I do this? Skills, knowledge, and abilities. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to combine this, because we can go from any one of these areas to the top. As I'm trying to move, if I'm working on capabilities, then I'm trying to at all the time position it so it's focused on, what am I doing this for? What is the meaning? And what is the purpose? Who am I? That kind of stuff. So I think it's a really interesting thing, and obviously for me, I need diagrams. So yeah, how to transition. But now you're mentioning transit. Now you're mentioning. Oh, we're glitching. Look at that. I'm glitching. Hold on. Headphone. Everything's going wrong. All right, we're back. Yeah, so, and then obviously when we're talking about, yeah, position shifting, this is something that I'm coming from, and Chili, this is all good stuff. I think you've saved my channel. You've saved my door now. Now you're saving the content. It's an unconscious effort, mostly where I think, as I've just got all right, I can't read. I've just got older, doing this for over 25 years. I take a total different approach versus to back then. It's harder to verbalize, yeah. So for me, it's like all about, when I'm playing guitar, it's all about connecting, you know. I think the other thing with me though is like now, because like at the minute, like like the job that I do, like in healthcare, there's, you know, I'm doing a lot of LD work. I'm doing a lot of stuff where it requires like basically improvisation. It's what we call intensive interaction. So like I have to, like my playing has to be on point because I don't know what's happening, and I'm thinking about like music all the time and little musical phrases and little passages and things like that. So I'm always thinking about, there's always somebody in front of me and I have to kind of make something that'll kind of connect. So I'm obviously thinking about that all the time. And things are very hard to verbalize. I mean, I'm like limping along here. It is very challenging, isn't it? And I just think, you know, that that Robert Dilt's neurological levels there really help to sort of allow me to focus what I'm doing. But yeah, transitioning from position from X to Y, that's something that I've like that. So that started. So I've been focusing on that starting from last week. What's that new Tico? Right. Thanks, Chili. I think we're sorted. But you know, thank you for all the help and everything. It's been brilliant. New tools and techniques bring new approaches, absolutely. And again, this is why, like, I sort of try, and when I'm doing my practice, I'll do a lot of it with a backing track because I'm trying to give what I'm doing a context. That was a typo. All right, I thought you were going to mention a TikTok. I was going to do like a TikTok of my wins, problems, and opportunities. See if I could get more than one view. The other thing I've got, right, so I'm not looking above the frigging camera. I gotta keep put. There we go. I've got a little marker which marks exactly where my lens is, so when I'm talking, I can actually like look at people like that. So yeah, last week I was working on bringing the for mobility. Uh-oh, getting the guitar now. Got a guitar sound. Plug it in. Come on. Oh, Scott's watching now. Oh, God, it's loud, isn't it? Right, what was I doing? Yeah, so there was like a little economy picking thing, which I'll not be able to do properly, but it was this sort of thing, right, where what happens is when I get up to here, it's like a bar. And just with the economy picking, it was just like that. I couldn't get the notes to isolate properly. And I didn't like the sound of the lick, all of it being picked as well. So I had to think of a different way of doing it. So you can't... like, it's very difficult to do hammers only. So it's got to be like some sort of hybrid thing. And that requires to do this thing where you've got to bring your second finger over your third. Now I know Thomas does it really well, and it's like a descending thing, because I was asking him about it. So he tends to do it when he's descending. This is ascending, but then I've just realised that it gives you so much more mobility. By doing that. So here it is. It's that. The other thing about it is when you're hybrid picking, you have more, I don't know if you noticed, but you have more dynamic range. There's more... Getting into Marshall Harrison picking territory. I'll have to check that out. So like because you get more dynamic range, you can make these notes pop out a lot more, which is super handy. So there's more on that than there is. Like the pick's quite limited to the hybrid finger. So I can really pop that note out. I'm missing notes because I'm not warmed up. Yeah. So that was like one of the things, and then I had that's another one. But I'm playing like I've got to warm up a bit for that stretch to happen. Because it's like, especially when I go up there, it's not the most comfortable thing to play. But when I'm warmed up, it's great. And then there's been other things that I've done where, like little things like that. So that's 2-1-2 pentatonic scales. I was talking about this yesterday. Unfortunately, it requires you to do that all the time. So that's really uncomfortable there. Shit. So it kind of hurts a bit. I mean, there's that guy I watch on Instagram, and he's got that massive stretch between there. It's like ridiculous. He's like this. And it's just like... But it kind of seems to be, you know, to do that kind of fourths and fifths stacked up sound seems to be a requirement. But sounds good when you get it going. So yeah, I'll definitely check him out. Trying to think, like the other thing that, you know, the hybrid is for that fourths and fifths things. I love that sort of Richie Kotzen And that's great when you get that roll going. Plus, with the extra sort of oomph you get with your hybrid, you can get a nice clean sound out of that. And the other thing is like, because you're using hybrid rest strokes, you're muting the string that you're not playing. So when I'm picking, that hybrid's actually muting that first string, and it immediately goes back into a rest stroke. You can get quite a decent sound out of it. Oops. I've lost my mind. I hate it when I forget stuff. Oh, that's it. Alright. Yeah, I'm forgetting to yeah, so I mean, like, I was like into Richie Kotzen at the very beginning of his, right at the start. I've always really liked his playing, so like I followed him like the Fever Dream, where he started to bring in the hybrid thing. Oh no, it was like Electric Joy, and then eventually just took the whole, it's all fingers, isn't it? So I like the bit where, I mean, if you watch the Brazil gig on YouTube from back in 2000 or whenever, he's all pick pretty much with a little bit of hybrid, and that's sort of the era I like. Sort of that and the Electric Joy, where he's starting to, basically he's using a pick and hybrid. The thing is with hybrid picking is, initially I thought it would be easy, and it's really difficult. And one of the things is, I find that I have to spend quite a bit of time practicing it to get the tone right. Yeah, I've seen him. Like, that's like I'm never gonna do that. So I'm very much that and a bit of this when I get going. So I'll use the third, the A finger. But it's brilliant when you, it's just great when you get it going. Like, I use it all the time now. You know, like stuff like string skipping is brilliant because I'm not moving my hand about all the time. So you're just reducing noise. I'm playing like crap this morning. Not to worry. Yeah, and then of course, you know, it's balancing all of this, isn't it? So like, because we've got like, I've started practicing like picking and then doing a hybrid, so I can blend the things. I think it's more of a picking day today, isn't it? Oh, hi there, Dragon. How you doing? Oh, nice playing, thank you. Just messing about, talking about guitars and things, and not just done a whole 10 minutes writing a tune. So I did like a beat the clock, write a bit of electronic music as fast as I possibly can. That'll be an interesting watch. Now we just ended up talking about guitars. So I think today, I was just saying, today seems to be, do it live, look. Do I do live learns? Or you mean like teach people live? If they ask questions, like if there's something you want to know, and I think I know it, I'll have a blast at answering it and showing you. That's for sure. But I'm gonna. Oh, is that a tune? Can you try Mephamoria or no? Probably not. Oh, like long? No, I'm not going to learn. No. I'm 100% want to be original. I never learn anybody else's songs, ever. The only time I ever learn anything is if there's a bit of music or like a guitarist's playing or something they're doing in their composition that I'm interested in, and then I'll kind of I'll analyze something. But I never learn something to be able to play it. It's always for some sort of purpose that I'm going to be repurposing it. So that's the way I do things. When I was younger, obviously, I used to learn stuff because you want to do that. You want to play like your heroes and all that kind of stuff. But I can't remember having, after school ever learning anything unless it was a paid job or something, and I had to do it. That was it, really. But if there's like something in that track, that you're interested in, or you can describe to me, or a particular technique or theory thing or anything like that, I'm happy to help. I'm just trying to warm my hands up now. Oh, God, that's a horrendous exercise. Cool. All right, what time have we got? Right, anybody got any guitar questions? Any guitar questions whilst I'm sat here with a guitar? Tell you what, I'll treat myself to some effects. What's that sound like? Definitely a picking day today, isn't it? Oh yeah, Tim's recreating an REH intro. That's it. Yeah, you can tell I was like, that's all I used to watch when I was a kid. I love those. I don't know about the Starlicks. I thought they were just like a bit like, who was good on Starlicks? I always thought it was just a cheap REH. I used to love, obviously, the Paul Gilbert Intense Rock one, the first one. Absolutely loved that. And I loved Vinnie Moore's one was pretty good. That's his thing, the little counterpointy things. Yeah. I loved his legato on that. It's great. And he'd do his little jazz thing like that. Lynch, Greg Howe. Yeah, I remember the Greg Howe one. I wasn't that keen on it. Yingme didn't watch the George Lynch one. I just found, yeah. I think, so. Oh, of course, the Richie Kotzen one was a massive influence. That was, really big for me. So it's all those arpeggios, isn't it? Yeah. I haven't listened to much of Vinnie Moore, now. Yeah, Tony McCallabine. I used to listen and try and copy off his records more than actually off the instructional video. But I do remember all of that. Something like that, isn't it? It's like a little fast tappy arpeggio thing. But I remember his second. Yeah, I liked both his first and his second solo albums. Anyway, I'm gonna have to messing about on the guitar. So I always do this. I get sidetracked, but that was a good discussion, Chili. So thank you for that, and thanks for helping out with the computer as well, which seems to be fixed. Thank the Lord. I'll be back Thursday. I'm going to try and try and do this content video because I need to do it. So that's the plan. So I'll start off. If you're here early, you'll get a guitar lesson. The theme is this picking exercise saved my life, right? And I'll go and it'll be a very quick 5-minute lesson. And I'm going to teach you a picking exercise that utilizes both inside, outside picking and economy. It's a total assault course of an exercise, but it's really good, and I highly recommend it. So I'm going to be shooting that on the Thursday live, which is always a bit of a laugh. Hopefully it'll just be one take, and then I'm going to go back to doing the 10-minute thing. All right, and that is it. All right, guys, see you Thursday.